Hey harmonizers, welcome to Gambler's Choice Obstacles, where I'm going to explain a little bit about what that is, why it's important to do, and how it's so awesome for kids to do too. Of course, this is my kiddos riding their ponies in the Gambler's Choice Obstacles. So what are Gambler's Choice Obstacles? It's basically where there's a whole bunch of obstacles in the arena, and you have a couple minutes in the arena to do as many as you can, and as long as you do them correctly, you get the points for the obstacle. Of course, Alfie has to stop and take a poo during the time limit, but you just carry on. For this class, it was munchkins, so that means that the kids were limited to walking only, and it's about teaching the kids to be able to steer and direct their horse and get onto narrow objects. So for example, if kids are focusing on learning how to jump, they might be able to miss narrow things like that, where Alfie was like, "What? You didn't steer me properly to the black loop there." So he walked around it. So see how this is a narrow object, this Liverpool filled with corn, which is great for the horse's confidence to work through. And then it means that the steering needs to be more precise to help with making sure you know where your horse is going, and it's really clear where you're asking them to head. This is a walk around obstacle. So it's the skeleton. It's a Halloween skeleton that you get to walk around. There's these different squeezes, we call them. So there's the fire to the mountains, and you can either walk forward through them or you can back through them for more points. Here's some poles, which for the munchkin level is just some half-raised poles or flat poles. And if you dislodge the pole, you don't get the points. Or for example, on the bridges, if you don't have all 4 hooves on the bridge, then you don't get the points. And there's different obstacles that challenge different skills. So that was a very narrow squeeze obstacle. This is a box made of poles, so super easy to do this at home. All you need is 4 logs or poles, and you try to turn around inside the box. So it causes you to be more careful about your steering. And then over the different bridges, there's a bunch of different types. We had the non-movable bridges, like the one she just went over, and then we have some that move as well, and they're all worth different points. So this is my little Beans riding little Dare Bear, who is our very senior pony. And of course, Dare Bear needs to stop and take a poop during her time limit as well. So apparently this is a thing that both of the ponies needed to do. But sometimes when you gotta go, you gotta go. So when she's ready, continuing on with the course, the time limit still stays the same. And going over more of the obstacles would be ideal. So for example, she just walked by a bridge that she could have gone over. So these are all little learnings of starting to strategize and plan and notice your environment, not just memorizing a pattern, but being able to look at the space and figure out where to go. But it's mostly just a lot of fun. They get to go into the ring and figure out all of these different obstacles they want to try. So here she's going on the rolly bridge, which is a tricky obstacle because it does move, which is also great for the horse's confidence to be able to do these different things. Also for the kids' balance to be able to go up and down, or adults. You can see from the crowd there, we've got adults, we've got children, we've got all sorts of different people coming out to the Gambler's Choice obstacle show. And I love them because it's very clear about what you're looking for. So it's not subjective of how well did the horse do this. There's no hard feelings about, who placed over who. It's like how many obstacles did you get done and did you complete correctly? So for a lot of the obstacles, if all 4 hooves go on the obstacle, that's when you get the points. But then there's different obstacles like the weave that she's doing here, which the weave you need to go down and back. And a few riders struggled with that concept, including Miss Little Beans here. She just weaved on the one way down. So you got to make sure you follow the rules of the obstacles. But all 4 feet on the bridge, you get all the points. So we're practicing that up, that down, that steering. There's different levels of obstacles. Like this is a fairly flat bridge she's going over there, where some of the bridges are taller or they move. So they're all worth different points. Going over the poles, for example, as long as you don't dislodge any poles, is worth 3 points. Whereas the big pedestal that we just passed by there, that was worth 5 points if you had all 4 hooves touch that as well. So there's another time that she passes by the long teeter bridge and misses those points. And these are all just little learnings of, try to do the things that are on your way there. Being aware of your environment is so important with horses. So it's a fun way to incorporate a lot of learning into a little course where you get to strategize where you're going, think about the things that you're passing, being able to steer your horse, look ahead, plan ahead. but I think it's also just super cute to watch the partnerships with horse and rider navigate these courses. Let me know what you guys think. Remember to subscribe and check out harmonyhorsemanship.com for even more learning.